name is Ainslee Thurlow and I'm here today to do my personal training certificate for practical simulation assessment. So in preparation for my client's arrival, I have gone ahead and booked the gym beforehand just to make sure that all the equipment we'll be using is available and therefore reserved and organised so that we don't have to worry about the equipment already being occupied already. So I've also gone through and reconfirmed with my client that should be meeting me here today at Ainslee Gym at the time rearranged. And also I've just done a brief run through of our session today just to make sure that I'm all ready and set to go. Okay, so I've also got my client to go ahead and fill out her adult pre-screening questionnaire form that she got from the front desk just to make sure that, well, just to save time filling it out later during our time together. So now, following the occupational health and safety regulations, I have made sure that the gym area we'll be using is tidy and clean and has been vacuumed and is hazard free. So, for example, I've made sure that there are no loose weights and stuff like all over the gym floor, and if they are, I've picked them up and stuff and made sure that I put them back neatly on the weight racks. And I've also made sure that the gym equipment we'll be using is all like tidy and clean and wiped down and ready to use. And I've also made sure that the mirrors we'll be using in the gym room have been polished and smudge free so that they can assist my client in assisting her to look at her technique. So also I've made sure that all the equipment we'll be using, such as the barbells, the weights, the collars, and the squat rack, the row machine, and the Swiss balls are all in safe working order. So first of all, with the squat rack, I've made sure that it's really safe and it's a sturdy frame, and it's been heavily bolted to the floor so it won't tip over. And I've also made sure that the barbells has been wiped down and that the collars are all available, and that also the safety poles on either side of the squat rack also at a suitable height for my client so that when she gets down to the squat and she has trouble lifting it back up, she can always place the barbell on the safety poles and someone else can come over and get the barbell for her. But also I've looked at the row machine and made sure that the chain is intact and it's been recently oiled, and that the display screen is also working properly, and that the seat has also been cleaned, and also the foot straps are intact, and that the security tag for it is current. And also with the Swiss balls, I've made sure that I've chosen a ball that's a suitable size for my client, and I've also made sure that it's been blown out properly, there's no punctures in it, so air isn't escaping, and it's been all wiped down and ready to use. So, okay, so I'm going to go greet my client now. So I'll just walk out. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hello.
My name's Ainslee and I'll be your personal trainer this afternoon, so if you'd like to follow me, I'll take you to the assessment room. And
Nice to meet you.
We're just going to have a brief chat about about your pre-screening questionnaire that you just filled out.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everything's okay before we get started on our session today.
Okay.
Okay, so now, the questionnaire that you filled out is really important for me to indicate any medical contraindications you may have to exercise, such as injury or illness. So now, just looking at my chart, I can see from your chart that you have no high blood pressure and that you have no family history of diabetes and no heart conditions.
Yep, that's correct.
That's great. Okay, so are you on any medications at the moment?
I take a couple vitamins, but that's about it.
Oh, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so also, do you have any muscle or joint pain or any injuries that I should be aware of before we start our session today?
Actually nothing, but knock on wood. No, so.
Okay, that's good. That's great to hear. That's good. You're really healthy. Okay, so now I can see from my chart that you have no cardiac issues, and that at the age of 50, you're under the age of 55, obviously. So that puts you in the low risk category for coronary heart disease. So you won't need a medical consent. So you're free to do exercise up to vigorous intensity levels, which is great. So. But just to double check some of these questions are accurate, we're going to take some measurements shortly, and yes, just to see if you're okay to do exercise. Right. So, and also, if at any point during our exercise program together, if you get any pains or discomfort unrelated to exercise, I just would like you to let me know because I really care about your well-being.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So, are there any barriers that I should know about that will limit you to participating fully in your physical activities, such as work time schedule, or proximity to the gym, or finance?
Actually, no, I'm retired and my time is yours, so I just want to get fit.
That's great. Okay. So what exercise are you doing currently, if any?
I've been coming to the gym the last several months and doing classes and doing this and that, but I really just don't have a plan. I just would like a plan.
Well, that's great. That's what I'm here for. So, okay, so now do you have any goals, or what do you hope to achieve and get out of your sessions with me?
I just want to be healthy, and I'd like to probably lose about 5 kilos and just tone up a little bit. Yeah,
so that sounds great, because really goals are so important, as they give you a source of motivation and give you something to strive for. So really toning up and losing weight, losing 5 kilos is an excellent goal. Well, let's try to make it a bit more specific. So do you have a specific time frame you'd like to lose your 5 kilos by?
I'd love to lose it by the end of July, because we're hoping to move up to Queensland at that point. So it'd be so nice to have a fresh start and get my ideal weight. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and that's exciting. You're moving up to Queensland, so and that's a good time frame actually. So, and your ministry goal would be to lose probably half a kilo each week, because it's a safe amount to lose for your size and shape.
Yep.
Also, what are you going to do to treat yourself after you complete your goal?
I'm going shopping.
Sounds awesome. So all girls love shopping. Okay, so now also, if your goal is to lose weight, nutrition is just as important, if not more important, than exercise. So, and also if you don't, if you won't be able to achieve your goal unless you have like a relatively healthy diet. So, how is your nutrition going?
I eat a fairly healthy diet, although I love chocolate and I love cheese, and I probably have a few too many soft drinks. So I know there's a few areas I can improve on. Anyway.
Well, that's okay. Well, you're allowed to indulge, but just to make sure that you're on the right way to achieving your goal, I can give you a free diary to fill out for a week or so, and next time we meet, I can make some changes if necessary and look over it for you. And so yeah, just to make sure that your diet looks pretty healthy.
I think that would be good.
And just remember, I'm not a qualified dietitian, but I can help you to an extent.
That'd be awesome. I'll need a bit of help. So.
Okay, so now if it's okay with you, I'll be taking a few body composition measurements today. So just to mark where you're at now, and periodically we'll repeat those same measurements again, so we can compare the results and quantify your progress.
Alright.
So have you had your blood pressure taken recently?
A couple of weeks ago at the doctor's, and it was good then. So.
Okay, so we'll be taking your blood pressure first, then we'll be taking your heart rate, then your height, then your weight. Okay, so I'm just going to measure blood pressure now. Okay, so cup is over your upper arm. Yep. Now I'm going to wrap this cuff around your upper arm area. So making sure the tubes point down your main brachial artery. Alright. It has to be relatively pretty tight. So there we go. Okay, so does that feel pretty firm?
Yeah, that feels good.
Okay. And now I'm going to place a stethoscope in the bend of your arm.
Alright.
So just underneath the cuff.
Alright.
Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to put this up to around 160 to 180.
Yep.
It'll get a listen for your diastolic and your systolic measurements, so it may take a while, so I'm just going to concentrate. Okay, awesome. Well, looks like you're in a really healthy range. So I measured 121 over 78, which is really excellent. Okay, so we'll wrap this cuff off your arm. Okay, was that too tight at all? Was that?
No, that was good. That was perfect.
Just put this aside. Okay, now I'm going to measure your heart rate. So cuff is have your wrist.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to measure it. So I'm going to time it for 15 seconds. And then I'm going to times by 4 so we can get beats per minute.
Alright.
So I'll just try to find your pulse. Okay, so that was 16. So 16 times 4 is 60. 64, I think. So, okay, so that's actually also right in the healthy range. So 64 beats per minute is perfect. So that's excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to measure your height and your weight. So if you like, can you please take your shoes off for me?
I'm going to do that.
Thank you. That's all right. So how's your day been so far?
Actually, pretty busy actually. Grocery shopping.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cleaning.
Okay, so I'll let you just stand with a straight back against the wall here for me, please. Okay, so take a few deep breaths in and stick your chest out. Okay, so that looks about 166 centimetres, so which is a good height. So now I'm going to get you to step on the scale when I say so. Alrighty, so I'm just going to get started here. Hang on. Okay. Okay, so now you can step on the scale and place your weight evenly between both feet. Okay, so that's 64.7, which is also a good starting weight for you. So, so now if you want to lose 5 kilos, you should be really under 60 kilos. So
yeah, that's my goal, 60 kilos. That'd be good.
Awesome, okay. So now you can take a seat again. You can put your shoes back on.
Alright.
Okay, so usually on a typical day, I'd usually organise your fit model for you. So calculate like how often you should train a week, so the frequency, how hard you should be training, the intensity, and how long you should be training the time, and also the type of activity you should be taking, so the type. But however, as today's my assessment, we won't need to do this. So now also, have you had a brief warm-up already?
Yes, I did actually. I went on the treadmill for a little while, so.
Yeah, that's excellent, because before you start any training program, it's really important that you have a really good warm-up, because a warm-up should be roughly 10% of your total working time. And you should really involve a series of stretching and like cardio and stuff to really increase your body temperature, increase your range of mobility in your joints and your muscle stretch, and decrease the risk of injury. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a brief run through of what we're going to be doing in your session today. So, so firstly, we're going to be going through a fitness test. Then after that, we're going to be doing a few strengthening exercises to strengthen out the chest, the back and the legs. And then we're going to be doing some cardio on the row machine. And then we're going to be doing an innovative cardio circuit, followed by lastly a couple of stretches and a proper cool down. So do you have any questions or concerns before we get started?
I'm looking forward to starting.
Okay, great. Okay, you can stand up now, but I'll take you to the gym area. We'll be performing the fitness test here. Alrighty. So really fitness tests are important for me to enables me to get a snapshot of your current fitness level before you begin a new program. And it provides me with valuable information that will help you to make measurable comparisons to help gauge your progress. So today I've specifically chosen a plank or hover test for you to perform, as this will give us an idea of your core stability as well as your abdominal endurance. So really a strong core is super important for anyone, but particularly when beginning a new strength workout, and will work really well with your goal of wanting to train out as well. And also like core and your abs are an important part to target when losing weight, because who doesn't want a flat belly, and people tend to store a lot of fat in their bellies too. So yeah, and also the plank and hover is an isometric and compound exercise, which means that heaps of different muscle groups are involved, and it's also a static exercise, so muscle length doesn't change, so movement doesn't really occur. And also you'll be obviously using your own body weight, so no equipment needed, so it's pretty simplistic. Okay, now so the muscle groups involved are your transversus abdominis, which is your deep abdominal muscle, and your part of your back muscles, so your multifidus spinae, and your rectus spinae, and your pelvic floor, and your diaphragm. And the joints involved are the shoulders and the elbows. So first of all, I'm going to give you a brief demonstration. So, and next I'll get you to have a practice go before we actually get you started on your fitness test.
No, sounds good.
Okay. So we want to start on the floor, so you can lie on your tummy on the floor like this. And make sure you place your elbows directly underneath your shoulders or in a 90-degree angle. And you can make sure your hands they can be clasped or aside, and it can just be whatever, it can be comfortable.
Alrighty.
And make sure your forearms are like parallel on the floor. You can look back at your feet, make sure that your hip width distance apart, and you can curl your toes under, then you can stand up like that. So while you do this exercise, I need to make sure that you maintain your spinal posture, so your spine's in alignment, so you need to look out just a little bit wider than your hands.
Yep.
And also you make sure that you really contract your abdominal muscles, so that you really squeeze your core tight, so you really suck into your belly button, until it reaches your spine, and just really contract your core.
Okay.
And also I need to make sure that you don't stick your butt up in the air like that, or you don't arch your back like this. You need to keep a really nice straight back like that.
So nice and flat.
So really nice and flat, and just keep a rigid straight back.
Okay.
So do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I'll have a go.
Awesome, okay. So you can lie down now.
Okay.
So lie down your tummy, make sure your elbows, so gently underneath your shoulders, which looks great. Okay, you can curl your toes under, they'll look about hip distance apart, so whenever you're ready you can just stand up. Okay, that looks awesome, so we're just sucking your tummy and keep that back nice and straight, that looks perfect to me. So how does that feel?
Yeah, that feels okay.
Okay, you can go back down and rest now.
Alright.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time you, and you can just try to hold this position for as long as you can, so...
Okay.
So I want you to try to breathe like into your nose and out your mouth, and just keep it really nice and constant, so you get enough like oxygen to your working muscles.
Alright.
So you can hold the position for longer.
Do my best.
Okay, so you can start now. Okay, that looks awesome. So keep your back really nice and straight for me. Make sure it stays really nice and rigid. Remember to sucking your tummy muscles. So remember what I said, so just squeeze your tummy muscles and really squeeze in your belly button to your spine and really contract your core. That looks good. Remember to keep breathing. Remember to like relax your neck here and upper shoulders. So make sure that you just stay nice and relaxed. And make sure that your spine's in a proper alignment. So keep looking at your hands there. Just widen. That looks perfect. So you've gone for 30 seconds. Awesome. Well done. Okay, keep up with your work. You're doing great. So keep that back nice and straight for me. That looks really good. So remember to try not to arch your back at all. That looks perfect. So keep it up. You're doing a really good job of keeping your back straight. Okay, it's 45 seconds. Let's try to aim for a minute. Okay, so keep going. You can do it. Come on. Okay, so keep really sucking your belly button and contract your core. That looks great. Okay, 5 more seconds, and then you're up to a minute. So keep it up. That's excellent work. So remember to keep your belly button really sucked in, and that's a minute 05. So well done. So keep it up. If you can hold it for any longer, you're doing an excellent job. You did a really good job at squeezing those tummy muscles in. And excellent. Okay, so that was a minute 14. That's awesome. Well done. That's an excellent score. I'm just going to check out my other norms with the fitness test. Okay, so this actually puts you in the strong category, which is really excellent. So well done. You should be really proud of yourself. Tired now. So now you can get a drink of water if you like, and I'll give you a chance to catch your breath while we go over the strengthening exercise next. Okay, so I'm just going to go grab a drink bottle. Strength training. So while you're still catching your breath from that fitness test, I'm just going to explain to you what will be happening with our strength training today. So really, strength training is important in order to get the lean and tone look that you really want to achieve. And also, the more lean muscle tissue you have, the more calories you actually end up burning. So
that sounds good.
Yeah, and it also worked really well with your goal. And by the end of your time frame with your goal, I like to really help you to decrease your body fat percentage and increase your muscle tissue. So yeah, so I want you to aim for a minimum of 2 strength training sessions a week. But again, I'll help you organise this with your fit bottle next time we meet. So I like you to aim for 1 repetitions maximum of 70 to 80%. Yeah. And stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so 1 repetitions maximum is like the maximum amount of weight you can lift for 1 rep. And I also want you to focus on, since you want to increase your muscle size, I want you to focus, and since you're a beginner to the strength program, I want you to focus on lean body mass as well as muscle hypertrophy, which includes 8 to 12 reps of 3 sets to really help you increase your muscle size. So today we're going to be performing 3 strengthening exercises involving the chest, the back, and the legs again. And also with each of these exercises, I like you to I want you to work as hard as you can, and by the end of the 12th rep, I want you to have like no fuel left in your tank to even do 1 more rep and stuff. So if you feel like you can do more, we can lift up the weight, amp up the weight, and if you can only do 8 or so, that's fine because we'll eventually build you up to be able to do 12.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so firstly we're going to start with the chest, and we're going to do the bodyweight push-up. So the bodyweight push-up is a compounded isotonic exercise, which means that hips and muscle groups are involved, and that muscle length does change, so movement occurs. And so it's a really simplistic exercise again because it's your own body weight's involved. And so now the muscles involved are your pectoralis major and minor, so your chest muscles, your anterior deltoides, which is your shoulder muscle, your front shoulder muscle here, and your serratus anterior, which goes down here, your coracobrachialis, which is goes down here, part of your arm, and your triceps brachii, which assist in the pushing up on the push-up stage. So, okay, so also the joints involved are really just the elbows and the shoulders. But you already know that because it's the obvious. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate briefly how to do a push-up. I'm going to give you a demonstration of your knees and your toes because, well, have you ever done push-ups before?
Actually, I do push-ups, but I can't do very many on my toes. So I'll only maybe one or two that the most on my toes. So.
Well, that's okay because now I'm going to get you to try to do as many push-ups as you can on your toes. And as soon as you can do any more on your toes, I'll get you to then go to your knees. So I'll demonstrate both for you so we know what's happening. I'll give you also want you to practice with the proper technique before we actually start our reps. Okay, so to begin the push-up, it's like you have to get into the full harbor position, which is similar to before, but instead of on your elbows, you're going to be on your hands, with your weight evenly distributed between your hands and feet. And your hands should be just wider than shoulder width, and your feet should be slightly, so really back hip distance apart. And you need to make sure your spine stays in the proper alignment, so you're kind of looking forward from your hands. Also that when you bend down, that your elbows kind of go out to 45 degrees. And so I want you to go down for 2 counts, like this. And I'll go up for 2 counts. So when you go down and up, I need to make sure that you go down like far enough, so it's like roughly about 1 fist distance between your chest and the floor.
Okay.
And also I want you to breathe in on the way down, and also breathe out the way up, as this is a concentric phase. So on the way down is the eccentric phase, or the relaxing phase. Okay, so also, like I said before, I want you to really make sure you contract your core by sucking your tongue muscles and contracting as well. So, do you want me to give it a go?
Yeah, I'll have that.
Okay, looks great. So, make sure your hands are just wide than shoulder width.
Yeah.
Where it's comfortable. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart, which looks perfect. So, keep your back nice and straight. Make sure you keep a slight bend in your arms so we don't deadlock them.
Okay.
Okay, now bend down for 2 counts. Contract your tummy. Now back up for 2 counts. That looks perfect, so they can stop now. Now also on your knees, you really just do the same thing on your knees, but so really the difference is you just go on your knees like this. So I'll just show you how to do push up on your knees. So you can keep, I guess, roughly hip distance apart again, and your hands can be just wider than shoulder width. So it's really the same as before. So you lower yourself down and up, so it should be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So you can give it a go now. So remember to keep your back nice and straight, as if in a plank position. Okay, that looks perfect. So for 2 counts down and up. Excellent. Okay, you can start now. Okay, now so I'm going to get you to do your first good 12 reps. So now again, I want you to do as many as you can on your toes, and whenever you can't do any more, you can switch to your knees. Alright. Okay. Excellent, so make sure your feet are hip width distance. That looks good. Okay, so remember to keep the slight bend in your arms. Okay, you can start now. So go down for 2 counts and go back up. That's excellent. So remember to keep that back nice and straight. If you can, try to go down a smidgen further, so it's more of a closer to the ground. Okay, so remember to contract your core. That's 4. Okay, that's excellent. That's okay. You're really good. Okay, keep it up. Keep up the good work to keep that 45-degree angle in your elbows. That's excellent. So remember to really contract your core and keep your back nice and straight for me. Try not to hunch your shoulders, so keep your neck and shoulders like really nice and relaxed. That looks great. Okay, so keep it up, almost done. That was 9, roughly. Okay, so keep your tongue sucked in. Now remember to breathe, so I want you to breathe out now, then breathe in. Okay, so keep your breathing nice and slow and controlled, and that looks great. Okay, awesome, that was 12, so well done, you did an excellent job. Now, how do you feel? You feel pretty tired now? Pretty hard. Okay, that's great. Want you to really put on a sweat, so. Okay, so now the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to be working on the posing muscles, so the back muscles. And with the back muscles, we're also going to be doing a barbell bench over row. And so we're obviously going to be strengthening our back muscles. And the equipment we're going to be using is a barbell, some collars and weights if needed. So also, the bench over barbell row is a compound and isotonic exercise. We already know what that is. And okay, so I'm going to go get the muscles you'll be working in barbell bench over row are your latissimus dorsi, your lats, which is your big back muscle here, and your rhomboids, which is like your middle back muscles, so around back here, and your trapezius, which kind of extends down your neck and kind of goes down your back a little ways. and also your posterior deltoids, which is your back muscle, back shoulder muscle, and also your biceps brachii, which can help in the lifting up of the barbell, and also the teres muscle, so teres major and minor, which can make up your rotator cuff right here. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief demonstration again. I'll get you to practice using like just the bar, like just the weight of the bar, and we can just figure out what weight we're going to use later when we start our reps. Okay, so just walk the barbell. Okay. So make sure you start roughly hip width distance apart, like this, and keep a slight bend in your knees. Make sure you have a really strong and sturdy stance. Okay, so grip the bar in an overhand grip. Now I want you to like kind of initiate the movement in your hips, so remember to keep your knees nice and bent too. So like you're doing a deadlift, so I want you to kind of bend forward, keep your arms nice and straight, and roughly your hands grip should be roughly wider than your knees, so like that. And yeah, so I want you to make sure you have a really nice straight back, you have your chest like really nice and proud, and your shoulder blades like kind of squeeze back together, so you have really nice posture. Then I want you to squeeze your elbows together. I want you to slowly raise the barbell up, like that, kind of pulling into your lower rib or your chest. Yeah. Then slowly lower back down in 2 counts. So I want you to breathe out now, and then breathe in. So yeah, do you want to give it a go now? I'll give it a go. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so remember to get nice distance apart with your feet. Yeah. Let's get so remember to do a nice bend in your knees there. Okay, so your grip looks pretty good. So we should initiate the movement with your hips. To get more of a bend to your knees and go down with the deadlift. Perfect, so keep that back nice and straight for me. Make sure you squeeze your shoulder blades together and keep your chest nice and proud. Now squeeze your elbows together. Slowly lift up. Now breathe out, lift back down. That's perfect. So does that feel good? And remember to keep your core really nice and engaged too. Alright, so I'll help to assist, and let's go, so you can start down. And how does that weight feel?
It's okay, but I probably do a little bit more, I think. So
okay, so I'm just going to take the barbell now, and I'll make sure I add some more weight on. So it's really important to use collars, because if you don't use collars, the weights could like fall off and hit you in the foot, they could injure myself or anyone else. So it's super important to use collars. So you just put them on like that, make sure that we secure the one tightly. If I just stick up here. I'll put the other side on. It's a bit tight. Okay, I'm just going to get your hang on. I'm just going to go get another set of collars over here. Alright, this is a bit too tight. One's the right size. Let's make sure this nice and tight. Okay, we're all set. So are you ready to get started? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So here we go. Alrighty. So remember to make sure your feet are distance apart. Keep a nice bend in your knees. Now go back down. Is it from the deadlift? Keep the back nice and straight for me. Do your shoulder back blade squeeze. And you can start now, so. Okay. Excellent. So remember to squeeze these elbows into your back. That's excellent. You did a great job. So remember to keep up your breathing. So remember to breathe out now. The concentric phase, and breathe in the eccentric phase. That's great. So we're going to keep the back nice and straight, which is doing a really great job by the way. And we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together, keep the chest nice and proud. Really sucking those abdominals too. So really sucking this in your core and really tighten those abdominals. Just here. Awesome, 2 more. I'm going to say you're doing a really great job. So remember to keep when you lower down, remember to keep a slight bend in the elbows, so you don't pop your elbows out. That's excellent. So well done, you've done 12. Okay, so I'll just put this away now so we can trips over it. That was a great job. How do you feel now?
It was pretty hard, but yeah, I know it was good for me.
Do you really feel it working your back muscle?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's great. To our last exercise, involving the legs. So using the squat rack, where obviously we're going to be doing squats. And so we're going to be strengthening the leg muscles. And so this is a compound and isotonic exercise. so have you ever done squats before using the squat rack?
I've done squats in the class, but I've never ever done it on a squat rack.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know that it's a really like a stable and sturdy structure, so it's not going to tip over and crush you because it's really, well, it is bolted to the floor. Now, also the barbells supported here are these grooves and stuff, so you can, whenever you get ready to get started, you can lift the barbell up and put it back. Also, you have these safety poles here, and I've actually arranged them so that they're suitable height for you, so that when you get back down to a squat and you have trouble lifting the weight back up, you can always put the barbell on the safety poles here.
Just gonna bail out if you have to.
Yeah, but otherwise I'm going to be here today, so I'll also be helping you to squat your technique. So I'm going to be standing behind you, and my arms, I'm also going to be squatting up and down with you as well, with my arms kind of hovering under your armpits. So just in case you need some extra help, to help like lift you back up from the squat. So just yell out if you need assistance, because I'll be here to help. Okay, so now with the squats, the muscles you'll be using during the squats are predominantly your quadriceps, so your vastus lateralis, your vastus medialis, your vastus intermedius, and your rectus femoris. So these are your abdomen muscles, so you'll be using these the most. And you'll also be using your hamstrings, so your biceps femoris, your semicapitaceus, and your semimembranosus. And you'll also be using your iliopsoas, which is your hip flexor muscle, which encompasses your iliacus and your psoas, and your adductor magnus, which kind of runs down here. And you'll also be using your gluteus maximus in your butt. And you'll also be using your calves, so your gastrocnemius and your soleus to help stabilize. So all these muscles I just mentioned, they're going to help to stabilize you and help to assist your quadriceps. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of how to do a squat. However, since you've done squats before, like in the pump class, like you mentioned earlier, this shouldn't be, I'm sure you already followed this, so you shouldn't have to demonstrate for long. But yeah, I'm just going to get you to practice with a proper technique too, with just the weight of the bar, before we get started and add some heavy weight.
Alright, that sounds good.
Okay, so first of all, you can step in the squat rack, and lift the bar over your head, get this up in the head. Okay, so make sure that the squat rack's on the meaty part of your back. And also the meaty part of your back are your shoulders. You can make sure that your feet are roughly just a little bit wider than hip distance apart, with your toes like slightly pointing outwards, like mine are. And when you do this movement, I want to make sure that you sit back on your heels and that your knees go over your toes, like in the direction of your toes, but not over, so not passing like that. That can really damage your knee and stuff. So I want you to keep your knees like nice and soft at all times. And I want you to sit back on your heels. So breathing in for me. This is eccentric contraction. I want you to lower yourself down for 2 counts, then back up for 2 counts. So never lock your knees out like I just did just then. So I want you to keep them soft and stuff, so that you can support your weight. Okay. So are you ready to have a go?
Have a go.
Okay. There you go. You can step in now.
Alrighty. Let's see.
So you can lift it up, put it in the meaty part of your back and your shoulders wherever it's comfortable. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart. So your toes are, yeah, that's perfect. You make sure your toes are pointing outwards slightly, so they're outwards. Yeah, so make sure you sink all your weight into your heels, keep your knees like slightly bent. So I want you to initiate the movement in your hips, so I want you to like bend back for me and sit back as if you sit in a chair. That looks perfect, so excellent. So you're going down to the perfect height, so since you're a beginner, I want you to go down to around 90 degrees in your knee joint. That looks perfect, so make sure your knees don't go over your toes, which you're doing a great job. So one more. So breathe, now breathe out for me. Okay, that's great. So now how that weight feel?
Actually, it's okay, but I'll probably do a bit more weight, I think.
Okay, so we'll just, that's no problem. You can put the barbell right here, and I'll just add some more weight on here. Also remember to really contract your core while you're doing this exercise too. With all these exercises I give you, it's really important to contract your core. So like the technique I told you before, so really suck it into your spine, your belly button into your spine, and just really tightly contract it. Okay. Come on down. Okay. So now we put the collars on. So again, collars are super important, and whenever you're by yourself, you should really make sure you use collars, so the weight doesn't fall on you. Okay. Back to the other side. Now I think roughly this is the appropriate amount of weight that you can lift. So I have full confidence in you that you can lift about this weight.
So I'll give that a go?
Yeah, so you can give this a go. If not, if it's too heavy, we can always go back to a lighter weight, or if you need more, we can always add more to it. It's just as easy, so. Okay, so you ready to go?
So.
Okay. So you can lift the bar up now and place it
heavier now.
Okay, so now since it's a heavy weight, I'm going to really squat you properly now.
Okay.
Okay, so remember to keep your feet with distance apart, which is perfect. Put all your weight into your heels and keep that nice bend in your knees.
Alright.
And you can slowly lower down now. Okay. It's perfect. Now keep up the good work. Make sure your knees don't go over your toes. That's great. So really sit back in your heels for me and squeeze your glutes on the way up and keep your core really nice and contracted. That's excellent. And also keep your back really nice and straight. Does that weight feel alright to you?
Yeah, it does. It's hard.
That's
I think it's okay though.
Okay, so that was 4. So you keep up the good work. That's excellent. Okay, 5. Now remember to breathe in on the way down. Now, so breathe out on the way up, obviously. Okay, so breathe in for me. Excellent. So remember to keep that core nice and engaged. Squeeze your glutes. And you're doing a really good job at making sure your knees are going over your toes. That's excellent. And not over them, not past them. So keep it up, it's excellent. Okay, almost done. Okay, so keep up the breathing, so breathe in, now breathe out. Are you feeling okay? Okay, so keep it up, excellent job, almost done. Okay, so we'll do suck in your core and really make sure your back's nice and straight for me. Excellent, okay. Almost done now. Push your knees really go over your toes, so there's notice they're kind of sliding a little bit, so that looks good. Okay, so one more I think. Let's go for one more. Okay, now go back up. Excellent, now great job, that was really good. How did you find that weight?
That was hard.
That's really good. Want you to have a challenge. Okay, so now I'm just going to neatly store away these weights away, but now you can go grab a drink bottle if you want and have a quick rest before we begin our cardio workout. Okay. I'm machine over there, so. Okay, so now we're up to your cardio training. So in your cardio training, I'm going to get you to be going on the rower machine. And so while you catch your breath again and have a sip of your drink bottle, I'm just going to explain to you about the importance of cardio training and what's to be expected of you and stuff. Okay, so cardiorespiratory training is super important to include in any fitness program. And it will really improve your overall fitness and help to melt all those calories away, which will really help with your goal. So it will really help to decrease your total body's fat stores, so including your total body's cholesterol levels, your LDLs, your triglycerides, while increasing your HDLs, which is like the good kind of lipoprotein to have. So also your heart will be also working a lot more efficiently, as a greater volume of blood will be able to be pumped around the body at one time, like per beat. So therefore more oxygen will be delivered to all the working muscles. So in the long term, really cardio training can help to increase your stroke volume and decrease your heart rate, which is great. So also, cardio training can really enhance your well-being and really decrease your incidence of kidney disease. So I'm expecting you to do at least 3 to 5 cardio sessions per week in the time of 20 to 60 minutes per session. But again, I'll help you go over this next time we meet when we discuss your fit model. Right. So you should roughly be working in the intensity of 65 to 85% of your maximum heart rate, and using the Ronan formula of roughly calculated your target heart rate zone, using your maximum heart rate, your resting heart rate, your heart rate reserve, and your age. So your target heart rate zone is roughly 135 to 157. Okay. Okay, so you need to make sure you stay within that range. And also, you'll be mostly actually working in the aerobic training zone, which is 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And this is where fat is a main fuel source as well. And you'll also be working in spurts above this in the anaerobic training zone, which is 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. And where lactic acid will be produced, it's the lactic acid zone. And so really the intensity will be really increased, so you'll be really struggling to give you a real challenge, I reckon, with your cardio. So since it's my assessment today, I'm actually going to be getting you to train for a shorter time period, so which is around 3 minutes, but don't worry, I'm going to have you train a lot harder next time. Okay, so I've specifically chosen the row machine here because rowing is an excellent calorie burning as well as strength building exercise. And which is power is actually generated through the legs and transferred through the torso and into the arms and stuff. And so it's really a full body cardiovascular workout as well as a full body muscular strength endurance workout, which is great. And it's really great for all ages, as it's really good for older people with, because it doesn't really place any strain on the back or the joints as long as proper technique is upheld. So it's super important to have proper technique. So I'll kind of stress the importance of it. So I'll give you a brief demonstration shortly, but firstly, have you ever used a rowing machine before?
Actually, in the past, I used to use a lot, but I haven't used it for a long time. So.
Okay, well that's okay. Well, today I'm going to give you a brief demonstration, and I'm also going to get you to have a go at it yourself and at a lower resistance. So I might start you off at level 5 here, I think. So also I'm going to get you to work for counting down from 500 meters. And by the end of your workout, so I want you to work as hard as you can within these 500 meters. And at the end of the workout, I'm going to, we can record your time. So we can, next time you use this machine for the same amount of distance, you can try to beat your time.
Okay.
So you can
strive for.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can see here on the dial that level 1 is obviously the lowest resistance, and level 10 is the highest resistance. So again, I'm going to get you to working at level 10 when you fully start on the rowing machine, but while we're practicing, I'm going to get you to work in level 5.
All right.
Okay, so now I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly first.
Okay.
But first of all, I just wanted to let you know of the muscle groups that we'll be using. So really, power reduction is really generated a lot through your legs, so your quadriceps, and when you really push off through the rowing machine. And they really function, the quadriceps function in extending the knee joint. And also you'll be using your hamstrings in flexing your knee joint when you come back into compression from the rowing machine. And you'll also be using your calves, so your gastrocnemius soleus, for plantar flexion of your foot, which will help you kick off from the rowing machine. And you'll also be using your rectus abdominis, your obliques, and your transversus abdominis to help stabilize your trunk, and to also help stabilize your lower spine.
Yep.
And to also help when you come back into compression, so at the end of a rowing stroke.
Okay.
And you'll also be using your erector spinae, which kind of helps within the force transfer between your legs and your upper body. And your latissimus dorsi, so your back muscle here, your big back muscle, that's actually the main muscle you'll be using. Like that's where like all the power is given from the upper body. So you really will use this muscle at the end of a rowing stroke. So when you come at the end here, when you really pull the handle to your chest.
Yeah.
And
lats.
Yeah. Okay. And also the deltoids, you'll be using them to help with also holding the handle here to help maintain the proper handle height, and also to stabilize your shoulder muscle here. So your deltoids are your shoulder muscle. And you'll also be using your rhomboids to help at the end of your rowing stroke again when you squeeze your shoulder blades together like that. And you'll also be using your biceps brachii when you pull the handle into your chest, and you'll be using your triceps brachii, so this back muscle right here, when you extend the handle, when you get back into compression, when you straighten your arms back out. And that's all the muscles you'll be using. So it's really full, you can tell it's a really full body. It's a lot of muscles, so you're going to be burning a lot of calories. So they can place your feet in the, first of all, place your feet in the footholds like so. And I'll help you set this up for you in a second. And so I want you to start in the first phase of the rowing machine, or the catch phase. So this is when you grab onto the handle right here, your knees bent, machine's vertical, you reach forward with straight arms and overhand grip. Grab it onto the handle, make sure your back's nice and straight, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, keep your chest nice and proud too. Now you're going into the second phase of the rowing machine, or the driving phase. So now with using all the power you can muster in your legs, I want you to push up as hard as you can and extend the knee joint.
Yep.
And only then when you extend your knee joint, I want you to then pull the handle back like this. See? And when you do most of the driving phase, I want you to lean forward, but at the end, I want you to kind of lean back ever so slightly.
Tiny little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then in the recovery phase, or the final phase, is when you go back to the rowing machine over here. So I want you to kind of lean forwards back to, lean forward slightly, and I want you to extend your arms and work your arms down your body until your knees bend, and that's 1 repetition.
All right.
Of the rowing machine. So I'll show you with it all together so you can see what it looks like all together. It's really important to maintain your back straight. Okay, so you got it?
I think so, yeah. Okay, we'll give it a go anyway. So I'll try this one?
Yeah, you can try that one. Now sit down. That'll help you with your feet, so place your feet in the foot holds. So you need to make sure the strap is around just over the balls of your feet, which looks perfect. So we can tighten the strap here. Yeah. Does your foot feel pretty firm and supported?
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay, so now you can get in the catch phase. So reach forward to grab the handle. Make sure your chest is up nice and proud. Make sure you squeeze your shoulder blades back. Keep your back nice and straight.
Okay.
And knees bent obviously. So now using the power on your legs, because a common mistake is people tend to use their arms too soon.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure you use your legs first and then follow through with your arms.
Alrighty.
So use all the power with your legs, then pull back on the handle. So whenever you're ready,
okay,
back straight. Excellent. Now go back now. Excellent. How does that feel?
Actually, it's fun to get back into it.
That's great. So your technique is perfect, really. So you're able to lean back and your technique's really good. So you're able to squeeze your core muscles. And I think it's pretty good, so you can start now.
Okay.
Don't wear yourself out before you start.
No.
Okay, now we're going to set the display screen to 500 meters. And we can amp this back up to level 10.
Alright.
So we're working hard on a short period of time. Okay, so that's 500 meters already, so we just hit the OK button. And now, so you can see the meters in the top left-hand corner of the screen. And that means so it's going to count down how many meters you have left to go.
Alright,
so you can be constantly looking at that, so you can see as soon as when you're finishing. Now here's the strokes per minute. So this is the amount of strokes you do per minute, obviously. So one rowing stroke is like a full rowing, it's like one repetition of the rowing.
Alright.
So you can see how many you're doing per minute, and this is the time here, so you can see what time it's like an estimated time it will take you to finish the rowing with like it's estimated off how many strokes you do per minute.
Okay.
And now you can look at the time down the bottom part of the screen.
That's my final time.
Yeah, which is your final time. So this is what we're good. This is so we can actually check and see how long it's going to take you. So
Okay.
So yeah. So are you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Yes.
Okay. So you can grab on the handle. Set up your posture again. So nice straight back. Make sure your chest is proud. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. Keep, knees bent. Make sure not to look your elbows out. Okay. You ready to go? Okay. So you can start whenever you're ready. Excellent, well done. So, okay, so your posture looks very good. I'm just putting it back nice and straight, which you've done a very good job of. Okay, so remember to contract that core, so squeezing your tummy muscles and really tighten them as well. That's excellent. Okay, so really good. So now you need to really breathe in, so important with this as well, so you can get all the oxygen delivered to all your muscles. So make sure you breathe out now. Now breathe in as you go towards the machine. So keep that up. Slow and controlled breaths. Okay, that looks great. So remember to use all the power with your feet and your legs as you can and transfer it through your upper body, and that looks great. So remember to keep the back nice and straight for me. You're doing a good job. So pull that hand into your chest, your lower ribs are chest is in. That's great. Okay, so remember to keep a slow and controlled motion when you get back to the rowing machine here. So don't like sit back super fast, like make sure that you're doing a good job of that in the end. So just go back really nice and slow and controlled. And keep up the good work. Okay, so look, you've done roughly 200 meters, so that's excellent. Okay, so keep it up. You're almost done. You're about halfway now. So keep it up, and your average is like 34 strokes per minute. So your estimated finish time is 2 minutes 27. So keep up the good work. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to let you know the energy systems you're going to be working on while you're rowing here. So you're going to be predominantly using your lactic acid energy system. Because your lactic acid energy system, because you're working at moderate to high intensity. And this energy system goes for 1 to 2 minutes. And after you're fully used up the system, you're going to probably transfer over to your aerobic energy system, which will go for 2 minutes onwards usually. So, and also you'll be using ATP PC energy system, and the first 10 to 12 seconds of your exercise. And and you basically use this energy system, you release your first burst of energy. You look great though, so keep up the technique and get back nice and straight for me. Now I should be working like quite hard to very hard. So in the radius of perceived, that's great. So in the radius of perceived exertion, I want you to be working on the scale of 1 to 20. I want you to be working roughly 15 to 18. So this should be strong for you to talk to me. So are you struggling to talk to me? Looks like you're working pretty hard, so keep up your work. And you're almost done now, so look, 15 minutes left, so keep it up. Awesome, well done. Yay. Okay, you're done. Okay, so you've done this for 2 minutes and 24.9 seconds. So it's great. So we'll write this down, and we can next time we use this machine for 500 meters, we can we can try to beat your time. So this can be like a miniature goal for you.
Okay, sounds good. I'm out of breath.
So now you can go grab a drink of water and catch your breath in before we start our innovative cardio circuit.
Okay.
Okay, now let's say you've worked super duper hard on your cardio train on your rower, so now it's time to do a more of an innovative cardio circuit. So it's really, the circuit involves really high intensity exercise which will really help to get your heart rate up. Yeah. So now I've chosen 4 powerful fat burning compound exercises which will help to get your metabolism up, including Swiss ball jackknives, crossed with a Swiss ball push-up, and also jumping squats, and mountain climbers, and Swiss ball sit-ups. Okay. So like passing off the ball between your hands and your feet. So ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so with each of these exercises, firstly, you're going to do each of these exercises in 30 seconds, and this will add up to 2. Since there's 4 exercises, it's going to add up to 2 minutes. So,
okay.
So firstly, I'm going to demonstrate how to do the first exercise with a Swiss ball.
All right.
So I'll get you to have a practice go yourself before we get started on the circuit. Okay, so we're going to start off by rolling on the ball on our tummies, and we're going to roll forward like this, and make sure the ball is like underneath your feet. Underneath your shins. So make sure, like we did with the push-up, make sure that your hands are roughly just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. So you keep a slight bend in your arm right here. And I want you to really contract your core. It's super important to contract your core, so you'll be working your core muscles more so you know how to do that already. So I want you to use your hip flexors and really pull the football firstly into your chest. And as you do this, you really need to make sure you tuck your butt under, keep that really nice and straight, and really flat, as flat as you can. Then go back out. Now it's up to the push-up bit, so you've already kind of used to push-ups now, so doing it on the football just really provides more stability. So I want you to lower it slightly down, up for 2 counts, down for 2 counts, and up for 2 counts, with a slight 45-degree bend in your elbows. Okay. So you can watch me now. So this is what it should look like. Okay. So have you got it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
awesome. Okay, so use this as well. Alright. Okay, so you can sit yourself on your tummy, roll yourself forward. Okay, so make sure the ball's under your shin, so that looks about perfect to me. Okay. Make sure your hands are slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Make sure you keep a slight bend in your elbows, so we're doing a deadlock from here. Keep your neck really nice and relaxed here, so you're not tensing up and hunching over. Okay. Make sure your back stays nice and straight. Suck in your muscles for me. So squeeze them in and tighten them. So make sure your back stays flat. Okay. Throughout the whole exercise. So take a stretch to bring the Swiss ball in. So make sure you tuck that butt under. Go back out. That's up to push up. So go down for 2 counts. Up for 2 counts. Excellent. Okay, that looks really good. So, okay, so also one thing I forgot to mention is obviously your breathing. So your breathing is super important. So you can bring the ball back in again for me, please. But tucked under now. I want you to actually breathe in and lift the ball out. Now go down. Still breathing in. Now go back up and breathe out now. And breathe out while you're pulling the ball back in. Okay, excellent. So you can stop now. So you don't have to wear yourself out. So it's really important again to control your breathing. So really nice, slow and controlled. So it's really 2 swift breathing movements. So I'll help you remind you this throughout this exercise. Right. So put this away for now. Okay, so set this out of the way. Okay, so the next one we're going to be doing is jumping squats. So it's really the same setup as if you were in the squat rack before. So I want you to make sure your feet are slightly wider than hip width distance apart again. Make sure your toes are pointed outwards slightly. Do a slight bend in your knees. And the real difference between using the barbell squats and the jumping squats is that instead of doing 2 counts down, 2 counts up, I want you to go 1 count down and then like really powerfully explode back up like this. There we go. But since of your age, you need to be careful with your back and your joints and stuff. Like you might not want to jump as high. You can jump, you can make it as hard as you can. So you can really jump as high as you want. But with your age, like low impact is probably better since you're over 50. So you can you don't have to jump up as much. So like me, you can make sure you jump up with your feet only slightly coming off the floor. All right. And yeah, so I can watch you now. So keep those knees bent, so you can so sit back in your heels and sit down this in the chair, and jump back up. Go back a bit lower for me. Make sure those knees don't go over your toes. That's perfect. So make sure they go in the direction of your toes. Okay, so if you can smidge it faster. On the way down, make sure your knees go over your toes and sit back and smidge into it. So you can go a smidgen lower from me, I reckon.
Okay.
Okay, you can start now. It's really enough. So I think you get the picture now.
I do, I think.
Okay, so now we're up to a third exercise, mountain climbers. So with this exercise, we were doing this on the floor. Have you ever done mountain climbers
Actually,
before?
I've done it in CX class before. So,
Oh, that's good. So
yeah.
you roughly know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of, I want you to get into the push-up position. So again, with your hands and feet evenly, with your weight evenly distributed between your hands and your feet. And again, you can make sure that your hands are slightly wider than shoulder width. You really suck in your core, keep your back straight. Really don't make sure these muscles tense, so really keep them nice and relaxed while you're doing this. And as if you're running, I want you to bring simultaneously bring each foot into your chest like that. And your foot can either drag on the ground like that, or it can completely lift up.
Okay.
So really right into your chest. So I want you to go into this pace, like that.
Look out.
Yeah, it's actually a really hard one, but also, while you're doing this exercise, I want to make sure that your back stays as stable and as straight as possible.
Alrighty.
So try not to, really limit the amount of movement in your back as much as possible, because the more you limit your movement, the more your core is activated.
Okay, so like this.
So yeah, that looks excellent. So really try to keep that core nice and stable. Try not to move your back as much. That looks great though. Okay, you can step now. Okay, so now we're up to our last exercise, involving sit-ups on the Swiss ball.
Okay.
Okay, so now we can lay on the ground for this one. Okay, so we start by laying on our backs, like that. Okay, so we need to make sure the Swiss ball is in between our knees and our ankles, like that. And with this exercise, it's super important to really activate your core before you start. So you really need to like suck in your tummy muscles again, and really tighten there as tight as you can.
Okay.
And make sure your back stays really flat on the floor, and your back doesn't arch up.
Alright.
Because that's super important, so we don't injure your lower back or spine.
Okay.
Okay, so now, I want you to slowly crunch up by exhaling as well at the same time. So exhale, grab the ball, then slowly lower your feet and your hands back down. I want you to keep going and like keep stopping the ball between your hands and your feet.
Alright.
Okay. And also to make this exercise harder and easier, you could actually, to make it easier, you can have a slight bend in your knees like that. When you lower your feet back down, so it makes it easier on your spine. To make it harder, you can keep them out straighter like that.
Okay.
You can like lower like as far down to the ground as you can, like that.
Okay.
Okay, but while you do that, the important thing is that when you lower your feet to the ground, you need to make sure your back is arched.
Alright.
So when you ever feel like your back is arching, I want you to stop at that point and don't go beyond that point. Okay, so I'll let you have a go now. Okay, that looks good. Make sure your back's firmly on the ground, make sure it's super flat. Engage those dumbbells before you start.
Alright, very good.
You know, look up, so breathe out, grab the ball, breathe in as you extend. Okay, that looks great, so make sure your back doesn't arch. So arching a smidge in there, so make sure you get that back nice and straight. But apart from that, you're doing really good. Okay, so you can stop there, I think. Do you feel ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, so I think we're ready to begin a second. Yeah, it was a hard 2 minutes, but okay, almost done. Okay, so we're starting off with this Swiss ball jackknife, so I'll let you get into position there.
Alright.
So I'll start you up, I'll just fix my stopwatch here. So just hang on for a second. Okay. Okay, so set up, make sure the ball's under your hands, which is perfect. So you make sure your hands are slightly wider than your shoulder width. Really suck in those tummy muscles, keep the back nice and straight, which is this exercise, really tuck your butt under. Okay, remember to breathe, like I said before. And okay, we're going to start. You ready to start?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'll start now. Okay, so remember to squeeze the ball in. Okay, now slow it into push up. It's great. Remember to get that 45-degree angle of push up. Okay, that's awesome. Now remember to keep that back nice and straight. Squeezing your core. Excellent. Okay, so I want you to breathe in, breathe out. Keep breathing out as you pull the ball in. Okay, it's 15 seconds. You're halfway through the first exercise. Keep it up. That's excellent technique. So you're doing a good job keeping that back nice and straight. And your butt's a lot more tucked under now, which is really good too. So try to go down a smidgen further for me. 27 seconds, so 3 more seconds left. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so 30 seconds, excellent. Okay, you can stop now. Okay, real quickly go to the next exercise without stopping. Okay, so hurry up now, do the squat jumps. Okay, so hurry now. Okay, so really sit back on your heels as if you're sitting in a chair and keep that up. So really generate a lot of force from your knees. Jump up as high as you can without injuring yourself, so jump up wherever you're comfortable. It's 10 seconds, so keep it up, it's excellent work. Make sure your knees go over your toes, keep your abdominals contracted, make sure your back's really nice and flat. So remember to sit back in a chair. You're doing a really good job, so try to come down a smidge lower for me. That's excellent, so 26 seconds, 30 seconds left, so keep it up. Okay, 30, okay, done, you're done now, so now going to the forward the stair climbers. So, okay, hurry up. So going to the push-up position, make sure your back's nice and straight before we start, so okay, go. Awesome, so try to get that back nice and straight for me, as flat as you can. Try not to have any movement in your back. Keep your tummy really nice and contracted. Suck your tummy in. That's excellent. Okay, so remember to breathe. Slow and controlled deep breaths is really good. Okay, so that's 15 seconds. You're halfway. Keep it up. Okay, so I can see you bouncing a little bit there, so make sure you maintain that back nice a bit more straight. Okay, so you're doing a great job. 24 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds left. Okay, so keep it up. Keep running. Almost contracting the core. That's 30 seconds. Okay, stop. Okay, now go to twist false sit back. So here you go. Okay. Whew. Okay, lie on the ground. Okay, before you start, make sure your back's flat. Tighten your tummy. Okay. Now start now. Okay, so alternate the ball between your hands and your feet. Make sure that back's really nice and flat on the floor. Okay, you're doing a really good job of making sure that back's flat on the floor there. So make sure that doesn't arch out for me. Really suck in your tummy muscles as tight as you can. That's excellent. So you're halfway done. Almost done. Okay, so keep alternating the ball. Remember to breathe. So breathe out as you crunch up. Now breathe in as you go back down. Excellent. 5 seconds left. Keep it up. Also, make sure that back doesn't arch off the floor there. Keep that back nice and flat. Straight. You're done. Awesome. Oh, well done.
Oh, that was a workout.
You feel tired now?
I do.
You look like you worked out a sweat and pretty puffed, so that's great. Okay, so put this away and now up to a cool down. So just need to do a couple stretches to cool down your body. At least you're done with the hard stuff now, so now it's time for you to recover. So by stretching out all those well-deserved muscles that work the hardest during your training session with me. So really stretching forms part of the cool down, which should be roughly 10% of the total workout time. And like during your training session, your muscles will have shortened to an extent, so it's really important that we get back in there and really lengthen those muscles out. So also stretching has numerous benefits, including it decreases the risk of injury, it increases your muscle and joints range of mobility and muscle stretch, and it also decreases the risk of DOM, which is delayed onset muscle soreness, and which is like that really sore kind of tight feeling after you finish a really hard workout that I'm sure you would have experienced before. And also really quickens your recovery time so that you'll be back after a really hard session to train at the gym sooner, which is great. So now I've chosen 2 static stretches for you today to do today for your upper body and your lower body and stuff. And I want you to hold each of these stretches for 30 seconds. And usually 2 stretches usually isn't enough for a whole cool down. So after this recording, I'm going to get you to do a proper cool down later with some more further stretching.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so first we're going to be stretching our quadriceps out, so with the standing quadricep stretch. So you can stand right here for me.
Alright.
And now you can hold it nice for balance if you like. So bring your foot up, and make sure you put your foot behind your butt, and keep your knees close together. And really, you can push forward on your hips like there, so you feel a real stretch in the front of your quadriceps. So I'll start timing you now. So you should roughly hold this for 30 seconds. So do you feel the stretching feeling in your quadriceps there? That's great. So really, you would have used this muscle a lot today in the rowing machine that you just did, and also all those squats and stuff that you did in your circuit, as well as your barbell squats and stuff before. So
this was nice.
That feel pretty good. So okay, so it's 20 seconds. Okay, so also you'll be stretching the muscles in your quadriceps, which is your vastus lateralis, your vastus medialis, your vastus intermedius, and your rectus femoris. Okay, so you can start there now.
Alright.
Now switch your legs, please. Okay. So the same thing on the other side. So hold this for balance if you need to. Bring your other foot up and put it behind your butt. Make sure your knees are close together, and really pull forward on your hips so you can really feel the stretch there. Okay, so awesome. So do you feel pretty tired today?
Actually, that was a good workout.
That's good. I'm really glad you worked really hard.
I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Okay, so that's roughly been 30 seconds. So now we're going to our next stretch, our very last stretch. Stretching out the chest muscles here. So what I'd like you to do is place your forearm on the framework of this rubber chair, and I want you to step forward and rotate your body outward, so you really feel stretched here in the front of your chest muscles.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So you definitely, do you feel the muscle stretching out here? That's great. So right now you're stretching out your pectoralis major and minor muscles, which is your major chest muscles.
Push-up muscle.
Yeah. So you would have used this a lot today in all of those push-ups you've done in the strengthening exercises, as well as the circuit at the end too with those small jackknives as well. So it's great. Now you can also increase the stretch by moving your arm up and down this pole here. So which really helps you to stretch.
Change it a tiny bit.
Yeah, so it really helps you to stretch the full range of your pectoralis muscle rather than just a small section. And you can put it down if you like, as well to get a further stretch, and that's roughly 30 seconds. So you can switch.
That felt nice.
That's good. Okay. Now you can switch to the next arm now. So same thing with the other arm. So
like this?
Yeah, that looks good. Now step forward and rotate yourself outwards. Okay. So you do feel a stretch in your pectoralis muscle here?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's good.
I think it needs it.
That's good. So remember you can actually move your arm up and down the rubber armchair as well to increase the stretch. And remember that if you want to do the stretch on your own, once you get home, you can use really any, you don't have to use this rubber armchair obviously, you can use a wall or a door frame or any sturdy structure. So yeah, so that's about 30 seconds. So that's great.
That's
so
nice part. Yeah, I do. That's good.
Awesome, okay. That's done for stretching. Okay, Lisa, I want to thank you so much for coming here today and being my client for my personal training certificate for simulation assessment. So it was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, the pleasure was mine.
So I really enjoyed it. So how did you find your session today?
Actually, it was really hard, but fantastic. So yeah,
that's great.
I'm looking forward to doing more of it.
Did you really feel confident with all the exercises we performed together?
Yeah, they're pretty hard. But I've enjoyed it anyway. So.
Well, that's great. Like you worked so hard. I was sincerely very impressed. So that's really good. So now I can take you up to reception, and I can give you my card with my details on it. So if you want to call me, and also we can reschedule you in for another appointment.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, awesome. Okay, so if my client were to have high blood pressure or hypertension, which is 140 systolic over 90 diastolic millimeters of mercury, then I really can change the program considerably to make sure that all the exercises they're performing is really safe. So because I really want to care about their well-being. So really I'd make sure I get my client to monitor the intensity that they train at. So I get them to train in light to moderate intensity, roughly at 40 to 70% of their maximum heart rate. And and I also get them to do, avoid certain exercises such as isometric exercises, and such as like planks and stuff, because that can really help. That can really increase their blood pressure. And I'd also get them to avoid absolute strength training and excess movements that involve excess straining and stuff. So, for example, if I'm doing a floor push-up with my client, I get them to modify this for them and get them to do a push-up against the wall. So because if the client's like jumping up and down like on the floor 1 minute, then jumping up like as if they're doing burpees, then it's it's not very good for them, because it's really going to skyrocket their blood pressure, and so it's really important to make sure their heart rate stays like relatively quite level. So really exercise has heaps of benefits for a person who's hypertensive, such as like it can really improve the efficiency of the heart and make really encourage a greater volume of blood to flow freely and not constrictingly through the arteries. And so it can also really prevent horrible things happening, such as strokes and heart attacks. So, and really, if I had an obese client, they'd probably be more likely to get high blood pressure. So, also exercise would have the benefit that the more exercise you do, it would probably help you lose weight if you have a healthy diet also. So then you decrease your blood pressure. Okay, so moving on to back pain, which can be characterized as, spondylolisthesis or spondylolysis, also arthritis, osteoporosis, even just ligament damage, a ligament tear, so a sprain, also a muscle or tendon tear, so a strain, or even can be due to simple things such as using like the incorrect amount of weight, so too heavy weights, as well as using improper techniques. So like common examples like the deadlift, because it's a really hard exercise to get right, because people often like arch their back and do the deadlift, but with also if they have excess weight on top of that, can really place a lot of strain on the back. So I really managed to make sure they have really exceptional technique, and also get them to focus on strengthening up their core abdominal muscles, so it can really help to support their back and also keep their posture in nice alignment. And I'd also, so for example, if I was doing sit-ups with my client, on the floor, to help support their back, I get them to move on to a Swiss ball. So, because it's more of a safer movement, so they're kind of really supported by the Swiss ball. Okay, lastly, if my client had a knee injury, such as, again, a ligament tear, so a sprain, or a muscle or tendon tear, so a strain, or even it could be due to a muscle imbalance, I get them to avoid exercises with excess twisting of the knee joint and stuff, so excess pressure on the knee joint. So so it kind of depends on the severity again, but I'd actually get them to avoid things like squats and lunges, and even using the leg extension machine just for the time being, just until they get their all clear from a health professional. So instead, I'd probably get them to focus on strengthening other parts of the body in a session. So I'd probably get them to work on, for example, hip adduction and abduction, or hip extension and flexion. I could get them to work on strengthening their glutes and also their calves and just other parts of the body. And also, if I had a client that was in the rehabilitation process, I'd get them to really lightly and gradually start to strengthen their muscles around the knee joint and stuff. So using possibly resistance bands is a really safe and easy method of strengthening a weakened muscle. So yeah, and also with all these conditions I just mentioned, so with the knee injury, lower back pain, hypertension, I'd really, if they're up to really exceptional levels, I'd really make sure I refer them off to a GP or medical professional, or whoever's relevant to see, so a physio, it could be a physio, osteopath, masseur, just whoever, or a chiropractor. So yeah, so again, it depends on how bad their injury is, but that's what I do.